So it is time for some curl talk, and specifically we're going to be talking about trimming hair and having a good trimming schedule. I don't want you to hold on to length for length's sake. Please don't do that, because in the end you'll be shooting yourself in the foot when your hair is not as thick as it could be, just because you were trying to hold on to length just because it looked long to you, but it may not have been as healthy as it needed to be. That is the key. I know you want healthy hair, and a part of that is having a good trimming schedule, and everyone's different. So I'm going to show you the proper trimming schedule for you so that you can grow long and thick hair, and it will be thick from root to tip. So this is some curl talk now. So this is just me and you having a conversation. One thing that I want you to know is that there is no correct way to trim your hair. I can't tell you, and I'm sure you've heard of it too, which is probably why you're searching for the proper trimming schedule. But you know, we hear different answers, like you're supposed to trim your hair a few times a year, or just a couple times a year, or every 2 or 3 months. I think I've even heard every month or every couple weeks. It depends on you. I think all of those answers come from there is a group of naturals or a specific natural that works for them, but that doesn't mean that it works for everybody. That's why there's so many different things and options out there for us to try. It does not have to be your life or your trimming schedule the way that you see someone else doing it. So I want you to know that. So don't stress over things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. You have to figure out what works the best for you. And in a way to help you determine that are a few tips that I'm going to give you. Because you have to pay attention to the signs. That's really what it comes down to when it comes to finding the right trimming schedule for you. You have to pay attention to the signs that your hair is giving you. And here are a couple of those signs. If you have more hair knots than usual, if you're starting to notice that you're getting a lot more hair knots than you usually do, because sometimes that's inevitable, especially if you wear wash and goes a lot of the time like I do. But if you're noticing that it's a little more than it usually is, or it's a little bit harder to even detangle from your hair, that may be a sign that it may be time for a trim, especially if you're noticing the hair knots are forming towards the bottom of your hair, not so much like in the middle or whatever, but really more so at the tips of your hair. That could be a very good sign that your hair may need to be trimmed. Another sign is just plain observation. Sometimes I know it's time for me to trim if I just happen to look at my hair and I'm noticing a lot of split ends. Now split ends are also kind of inevitable. Not every single hair strand is going to be perfect, but you want overall your hair to be healthy and not full of split ends. But if you're noticing that you're just observing your hair and pretty much every strand that you're looking at is a split end, then that may be a sign that it may be time for you to trim your hair again. I mean, I know it seems real obvious, but a lot of us, we gloss over that. We just put product onto our hair that says it's going to help damaged hair, and we just go about our way. But we have to really pay a little bit more attention, and we'll be able to catch things early on. One thing that split ends can do is kind of alter how your hair holds style. So if you're noticing that even your curls aren't as voluminous as they should be, or they're a little more limp, these are little signs that can tell you that it's time for you to switch something up. Your hair needs a little bit more attention than what she's been getting. So that actually brings me to my last tip, which is if you're noticing your hair isn't holding the style as well as she should be, and if the ends of your hair are thin, that's also like split ends. Like maybe you don't see it actually splitting, but it's very feathered off, it's very thin. That's also a sign that she definitely needs a trim. Those ends aren't as healthy, and they just need to be cut loose. It's time to go. It's time to be cut loose. And those are just 3 easy tips that you can implement today, that you can look at your hair and implement today to see if you need a trim. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a set schedule. You just have to pay attention more to your hair. And so that's all. I just wanted a quick little curl talk and chat with you, just to give you my perspective on trimming hair. I know there's so many different opinions, but this is mine and this is what I do for my own hair. I don't even remember the last time I trimmed my hair. I think when I got it straightened, that was some months ago. I want to say it was about 4 months ago, something like that, when I trimmed my hair. And all I did, there's different methods that you can use as well to trim your hair. I am one of those naturals where I do want to hold on to as much length as possible, but the key is healthy length. So my method of trimming my hair is called the search and destroy method, and I basically look at every single strand. Like, I'll section my hair and I'll look at every single strand and I will snip just the little split ends, like right where I see it. That takes a lot longer, but because I'm passionate about healthy and long hair and I want to hold on to as much as I can healthy wise, that's the method that I prefer versus, you know, some naturals that just do one mass trim all around. You can definitely do that too. There's different methods on it, but that's just the one that I like to use, and that's whenever I see fit, whenever I feel like it's time for a trim, my hair gets a trim. So I just want to put my perspective out there, and hopefully that helps you out to know that it doesn't have to be perfect and you don't have to fret and stress about a trimming schedule. It's not going to make or break your healthy hair journey. Just make sure that you are paying attention and reacting. So that is all I have for you. I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate everyone that comes through. Subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me, and so we can continue these curl talks, and so I can continue to give you tips and cocktails on all the different things that I create and research, because I do this all for you. I wear wash and goes all the time, and I want to let you guys know that you can do that too. You can wear your hair however you want to wear it, just as long as you know what you're doing with the ingredients and the products that you're investing in. Alright, I will talk to you next time.